Okay, here we go. Beautiful. So today we're talking about slope-intercept form, and we want to be able to graph a linear function. What is a linear function? Why do we call it linear? It's a straight line, yeah. It's just a straight line. It's got the root of the word line in it. So we're just graphing lines, okay, using a y-intercept and the slope. And I want to go back and say, hey, if we wanted, we could do a table of values and we could pick numbers to plug in. So I could pick nice numbers. Because of my denominator of 3, I would choose something like 0 and 3 and 6 probably if I were to choose numbers. And I could plug them in 2/3, plug in a 0 plus 1, and I could get my y value. And so I could plug in numbers and graph. You can always do that. Pick numbers for x and plug them in and graph them. So I could do 2/3 times 3 plus 1, and what does that equal? And then I could do 2/3 times 6 and plus 1, and what does that equal? And then I could graph those ordered pairs. So that's what we were doing before to graph, and we could always do that. But it turns out there is an easier way, and that uses our knowledge of slope, what we've been talking about, the rise over the run, and our just good, where do we start? So here is the form that we are using. This is that right here is the form that we're using today. This is called slope-intercept form, and it's called slope-intercept form because what's this letter represent? What's the M represent? Rise over run. It represents slope. Yeah. So M, will you please take one of your colors and underline that M? M equals our slope, which, as you said, is rise over run. M is our slope. M is the number in front of the x. It's the coefficient of x. Does slope include the x? It doesn't. It's just the m. The m is the number in front of x is our slope. And then this thing, this b is a weird number or weird letter. I don't know why they chose b. It's kind of weird. B is called the y-intercept. We haven't talked about what that is yet, the y-intercept. But I think that, personally, I think they chose the B to say begin here. B is for begin. All right, B is for begin. So whatever is added or subtracted in our little equation that we have, that's where we begin graphing, okay? So we're going to do some examples here. We want to state the slope and the y-intercept and then graph the equation. So first, I want us to identify the slope, which is the m, and the y-intercept, which is the b. All right? On this number 1, what's the m? Which number represents the m? 2/3 is right. Will you circle 2/3 in your special color? 2/3 is the slope. That's the number in front of x. All right. And what's the b? The 1. Yeah, that's the thing added or subtracted on the end. And that is the y-intercept. Will you please identify the slope for each of these, the slope and the y-intercept for each of these? So we want to know what's the m and what's the b. If you want to circle all the m's in one color and then circle all the B's in the other color and then write them in. That'd be great. Let's see, here's my M here. All right, I want you to just be able to identify those really easily. What is the M? And what is the B? Write down your M and write down your B for all the 6 problems. Write down the M and write down the B. All right. Write down the M and write down the B. Cool. And just put a little M underneath and a B underneath. That'd be fine. All right. Okay. So M is always the number in front of the X. So we have 4/3 for number 2. And the B is -2. We want to make sure we include the sign in front. So it is a -2. On number 3, what's the M? -1/2. And what's the B? -4. Beautiful. On number 4, what's the M? -3. Very good. What's the B? 7. Very good. On number 5, what's the M? 2. What's the B? -5. Good. And on number 6, what's the M? 1/4. And what's the B? -3. All right. Was that pretty easy to identify? Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to graph. When we graph, B says begin here. B is what we call the y-intercept. So that says we want to go to the y-axis. That's our vertical axis. And we're going to go to 1 on that y-axis. 1 is right here. So I need you to put a big dot right at 1 on the y-axis. And that's where we begin. B is for begin here. So you need a big dot there. And then we're going to count our slope. Remember, slope is rise over run. So I have a lovely fraction here, and it's telling me to go up 2 and right 3. The rise is positive, so it's going to say, hey, go up 2 and right 3 from my beginning point. So from my beginning point, I'm going to count up 2 spaces and then right 1, 2, 3 spaces, and that's where I'm going to put my next point on my line. Up 2 and right 3. And I'm going to do it again. Up 2 and right 2, 3. If you have 3 dots, that's good enough for me. And now we can connect the dots with our line. A nice straight line that goes on. Let's try another. Number 2, where am I going to begin? -2. Begin at -2 on the y-axis. So put a nice big dot at -2 on the y-axis. Maybe I'll label it -2. -2 on the y-axis. It's really the point, the ordered pair 0, -2, if you will. And then what is this slope telling me to do? Up 4 and right 3. And I'm always going to go to the right. So from my beginning point, I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3, and 4. And over to the right, 1, 2, 3. You must go to the right. And I'm going to go up 4 and over 3. Up 4, up 1, up 2, up 3, up 4. To the right, 1, 2, 3. All right, up 4 and 3. And we get those little stair steps, and each time you complete your slope, you do a little dot. And then if you have 3 dots, you can then connect them with a nice straight line. Does this seem pretty easy? Yeah? Okay, good. Number 3. And then I'm going to have you do the rest for a sec. Where do we begin? Yeah, we're going to B for begin here at -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's -4. We're going to begin at -4 on the y-axis. Got to start with the y-axis. And then, now, what does this slope tell me to do? Yeah, we're going to go down 1 and right 2. The bottom number always goes to the right. The top number can go up or down. All right, so we're going to count down 1 and right 2. Down 1 and right 2. And you could go even one more if you want to be really fancy. And then once you get that, you got a downhill sloped line and a beautiful line. I love those lines. All right, number 4. Where do we begin? 7. Begin at 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A big dot at 7 on the y-axis. My slope is a little funny. What should I do with my slope? It is over 1. Yeah, we want it as a fraction. So we definitely want to have a numerator and a denominator. So you can always turn it into a fraction. So what does my -3 tell me to do? Down 3 and right 1. That top number is going to go up or down. The bottom number is always to the right. So I'm going to go down 2, 3 and right 1. Down 2, 3, right 1. Down 2, 3, right 1, but that's good enough. And you can connect your line. What should we do with number 5? We're going to start at the -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Big dot there. Starting at the y-axis at -5. And then what's our slope? 2 over 1. And that tells me to do what? Up 2 and right 1. Up 2 and right 1. Will you please make sure you're drawing the little arrows just on your notes? Really important that you do that on your notes so you remember later. So from our -5, we're going to count up 1, up 2, and then over 1. Up 2, over 1, up 2, over 1. And there's a beautiful line. Okay, raise your hand if you're feeling pretty good about this. Okay, cool. Will you turn the page? Number 7, what is the M? -5 is the M. Good. I'm going to make it -5 over 1. What's the B? No, it's not. No, if there was a 1, you would see like a +1 or a -1. 0. Very good. It's missing. It's not there. So we can always fill it in. And if it's not there, it's a 0. Do we put zeros in our equations when they're not there? It's not there. Yeah, there's nothing there. But we're going to start here at 0 on the y-axis. B for begin here. And then what do I do for my slope? Down 5, right 1. Down 5, right 1. So from my beginning point, we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and right 1. Down 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa! I'm off my graph. What should I do? Estimate. Sure, I can absolutely do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. So it's somewhere about there. I can estimate that. That's totally fine. If you are on Delta Math, you can't really do that. Okay? So instead, I know my line is supposed to be headed in this direction. I'm going to do a full reverse and go back to my beginning point. I'm going to do full exact reverse. I'm going to go up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and left 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, left 1. So I'm doing a full reverse. Do you see how my line continues there? Okay, so I call that a full reverse. It's like an Uno reverse card. right? Okay, you gotta go fully backwards. All right, number 8. What's the M in number 8? -1. Very good. Remember there's a little invisible 1 there? So that's -1. And again, I really need it as a fraction. So -1 over 1. And what's the B? -6. Okay. That -1, I'm going to start at -6 on my y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's my -6. I begin at -6. And what do I do for my slope? How do I count out this slope? Yeah, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. And there's a little perfect little line right there. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you about 4 minutes to practice. Well, not 4 minutes. I'm going to give you about 2 more minutes to practice a couple more. Let's go. Show me what you can do. Let's go. Show me what you can do. Good. 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 All right. Good. 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 Nice. Good. Cool. Takes a lot of practice to draw a straight line. For this one, up 6. Yeah, it's great. It's perfect. Good job. Way to go. All right. You doing good? Good. Good start. Keep going. Very nice. Good. Keep going. You got 15 seconds. Come on, man. Rockland. So you're counting yourself and you're like, hey, what did I do? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can estimate over 1, 2, 3. So that's totally fine. We can also do it in reverse. So up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back 3. That'll work as well. All right. Here we go. What I saw was very, very good, ladies and gentlemen. But I want to look at down here real fast. Just so we can be clear here, what's different about 13, 14, 15, and 16? Is the B a fraction? What's different?
It's just not in order.
It's not in order. Yeah, these are out of order. They're just in a different order, which isn't really a problem. I could rewrite it if I wanted to. I have this first term here that has the x, so I would normally see this whole thing, -1/3 x, and then this is this a +5 or a -5? It's a +5. So if it were in order, this would be how it would look. What about number 14? How should that, if we wrote it in order, what would we write? 1x, and then what comes behind that? The -2. And so we can sort of trade places if we want to, but actually it really doesn't matter. The m is always whatever number is in front of the x. So it's negative 1/3 regardless of if it's in order or not in order. And then the b is the other number. So in this case, it would be 5. So on number 15, what's the m? Yeah, the m is 3/2. M is the number in front of x. And so what's the b? 6, absolutely. All right. Do you have questions for me so far? No? Okay, turn page. All right. Given the graph of a line, we can also write the equation. You guys caught on to graphing super quick, super easy. We want to be able to do it in reverse. So, looking at this graph, we want to be able to identify the slope and the y-intercept. Where is our beginning point? What did we begin at? What does this graph begin at? -2. It begins right there at -2. So the b is -2. Mason, Stevie, quiet please. And then, how do we figure out the slope? It's rise over run. How do we count that? Up 1 and then over 3. So we have the slope of up 1 over 3. That's 1/3. And so how do I write my equation? Y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to write y equals, what should come, what's the m? 1/3, and then it has to have an x, and then the last thing I pop on there is -2. Super easy. Number 2, what's our beginning point? Is that a 7 up here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, once we know the 7, and then we have to find our slope. What's our slope? -5, we're going down 5 and right 2. So -5/2. And so my equation, an equation always has to have two sides. So you have a y equals, and then what? -5/2 x, and then plus 7. -5/2 x plus 7. Do you get that? Pretty easy? All right. Well, you go ahead, and I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to try the rest of that page. And then we'll be done. Whoops-a-daisy. Ah. Yeah. You got to have the y equals part for your equation. God. Some of you went ahead and just wrote y equals on all those equation lines. Very good. All right. slope. From here, we're going up how many? 4. And then over 1. So 4 over 1, which is just 4. And then the x, and then the minus x. All right. Okay, cool. Very good, you guys. Here we go. What did you get for number 3? What for your equation? Y equals, yeah, 4 over 1 or 4x is the same thing, so that's very good. And then minus 5, very good. What do we have for, ooh, what was the slope for number 4? Yeah, negative 2 over 2, so negative 2 over 2, which reduces to negative 1. So this equation would be negative 1x plus 7. All right. Do you guys have any questions for me? All right. Excellent. You guys did a good job. Thank you very much.